you been doing?
Yes. I mean, you know, fine.
Mila Kunis has finally spilled the beans on why Ashton Kutcher has been keeping such a low profile lately, and honestly, it's something a lot of people probably guessed. Ashton and Diddy's friendship goes way back to the early 2000s. They first met while working as MTV stars, Ashton as the prankster on Punk and Diddy overseeing young musicians. Diddy has shared before how they hit it off, especially after a funny exchange during their first phone call. Ashton joked about not being able to prank Diddy, and Diddy made it clear from the start that he was off limits, setting the tone for their friendship. But it wasn't all about crazy parties and fun times. Ashton recently opened up about how their friendship wasn't just for show, it actually had a big impact on both of their careers. When they weren't out partying, the two would hang out, relax, and watch football together, bonding over something simple and real. Their friendship may have started in the party scene, but it quickly became something much more meaningful, shaping their careers and lives in ways they never saw coming. Ashton Kutcher recently opened up about how his legendary nights out with Diddy actually helped shape some of his career decisions, like joining the cast of Guess Who, but not everything about their parties was as innocent as it seemed. At one of their VMA after parties, they even invited 13-year-old girls, which has left a lot of people raising eyebrows. Ashton has since reflected on how their friendship looked from the outside, especially after giving an emotional speech at an award show back in 2006 when he realized how much their bond was affecting how the public viewed them. But today, things are a little different. Ashton has started to distance himself from Diddy, especially after Diddy's recent legal troubles. The music mogul is facing some serious allegations, including sexual abuse and sex trafficking. Ashton's concerns about their friendship now seem to be more than just worries, they're becoming real fears. Some insiders are even wondering if Diddy might start turning on those closest to him. So, as more and more of this drama unfolds, everyone is waiting to see what comes next for Diddy and his circle of friends. There's always been talk that Diddy might know some deep secrets about other celebrity stuff that could be super valuable to people who want it. But for Diddy to share that information, they've got to really want it. He's always been close with certain people, like when Ashton Kutcher and Diddy were so tight that they even went to a Nets game together and met Jay-Z. They were good friends, no doubt about it. But here's the real question: could Diddy lie about other celebrities? Well, maybe it's not about straight up lying, but more about controlling what people hear. If Diddy ever got caught in a mess, he'd probably twist things to make himself look like the good guy, the one who did no wrong. So it's no surprise that Ashton, who was once so close to him, might be feeling uneasy. After all, Diddy was part of that famous Brat Pack with Ashton, Leonardo DiCaprio, and others. They all hung out together, but now, knowing everything that's happening, it makes sense that people might be questioning Diddy and everything he's been involved in. The whole situation definitely raises some eyebrows, and it's hard not to wonder what might come out next. Ashton Kutcher seems really concerned that Diddy might start sharing some sensitive information, which is probably why he made that comment. He's setting the stage to prepare everyone for the possibility that Diddy might not be totally honest and could even lie about them. Ashton knows Diddy well enough to know that whenever he went anywhere, he always had his tape recorders and cameras on him, recording everything. So it's possible that those tapes could already exist and they might have some serious details on them. Ashton also wanted to clear up some rumors about his connection to the feds. He made it clear that he hasn't spoken to any prosecutors or anyone involved with Diddy's legal issues. There's no reason for the authorities to contact him because everything he's talked about has been about personal experiences involving people around them. Ashton insists that nothing he said was illegal or could put Diddy in trouble. He's frustrated that some people might think his words are to blame for Diddy's current situation, but he stands by what he said. The whole thing is really starting to raise more questions, and it's clear that Ashton is trying to distance himself from the drama as much as possible. Ashton Kutcher is still speaking out, pointing out that even the prosecutors can't say exactly what law Diddy broke or what he did to land in trouble. If anyone asks, what did Gene Deal say Diddy did to get locked up? The answer is unclear. There's no concrete proof about what went wrong. Ashton makes it clear that he hasn't talked to any prosecutors or anyone from the defense team. He doesn't see any reason why he would be involved in the legal side of things. But here's where it gets interesting. Ashton mentions that Diddy has been under surveillance since 2011. If the authorities knew about Diddy's behavior all that time, why didn't they act sooner? Why wait until 2024 to do something about it? Ashton wonders why, if they had such serious information like accusations involving underage boys, they didn't step in earlier. He's questioning why so many people were left to suffer when they knew something wasn't right. With more and more people coming forward, Ashton is curious about how many of them spoke up after 2011. He's making it clear that the government might have known a lot more than they let on, and they should have acted much sooner. It's a tough situation, and Ashton's raising some serious questions about the delay in addressing these issues. Ashton Kutcher's comments are really making people think. If the authorities had acted sooner, could all of these victims and situations have been avoided? It's a serious question. Ashton's been really close to Diddy, so he must know a side of him that most people don't. If Ashton's been caught on tape, that gives Diddy a lot of power, and the big question is, has he used that footage for blackmail already? At these wild parties, things would get out of hand. People would drink, the music would get loud, and the atmosphere would get intense. Ashton even talked about how Diddy would turn up the heat so high that people had to take their clothes off. When you're in that kind of environment, it's easy to let your guard down. People weren't always thinking straight. But what's even more unsettling is Diddy's use of hidden cameras. When you're as powerful as he is, you don't get there without having a plan. Diddy was always prepared, always watching. He made sure he had something on everyone around him, just in case. He was the type of person who liked to have that kind of control, always keeping tabs on people to make sure they didn't have any secrets of their own. It's clear now that Diddy wasn't just living life, he was playing a game, and everyone around him was part of it. Diddy's reputation for playing people against each other is no secret. He did it to Biggie, Craig Mack, and even Ja Rule. He would create tension and use people's secrets to manipulate situations. A perfect example is how Diddy had dirt on Ja Rule, which he could use in his ongoing feud with Jay-Z. Diddy's whole strategy has always been about power and control, and those hidden cameras at his parties were just another way for him to collect information on everyone who showed up. Even the most famous basketball stars weren't safe at a Diddy party. Now, Ashton Kutcher is reportedly regretting his past connection to Diddy, especially now that Diddy is facing serious charges. He's dealing with federal sex crime and racketeering charges, and his trial is happening in New York. Last year, Ashton and his wife Mila Kunis came under fire when they showed support for Danny Masterson, their former co-star from That 70s Show, who was convicted of raping 2 women and is now serving 30 years to life in prison. Danny always had a bit of a strange vibe, but his conviction has raised a lot of eyebrows about the choices Ashton and Mila made. It's a complicated situation, and it's clear that their past connections are coming back into the spotlight in a big way. In 2023, Ashton and Mila were hit with backlash when it was revealed they had written character letters on behalf of Danny Masterson, asking for leniency in his sentencing. Danny, their former That 70s Show co-star, had been convicted of 2 rapes and was sentenced to 30 years to life. Fans were furious when they found out about the letters, and Ashton and Mila quickly posted an apology video on Instagram. In the video, they said, "We realize the pain these character letters cause. We've always supported victims, and we will continue to do so. A couple of months ago, Danny's family asked us to write these letters reflecting on the person we knew for 25 years. Hoping the judge would consider that in the sentencing. We didn't mean to question the justice system or the jury's decision. The letters were just meant to offer a personal view, not to disrespect or harm the victims in any way. We never wanted to do that, and if it came across that way, we are truly sorry. Our hearts go out to everyone affected." Even though the couple tried to explain their actions, the apology didn't sit well with many people. Fans felt they should have considered how their support might have impacted the victims, and the video only seemed to add fuel to the fire. It was clear that this situation was more complicated than anyone anticipated, and Ashton and Mila found themselves facing serious public scrutiny. Diddy's in serious legal trouble right now, facing charges for sex trafficking and racketeering, which he's denying. Ever since his arrest in September, a lot of his usual celebrity friends have stayed quiet, possibly because they don't want to get caught up in the investigation. Diddy's currently being held in a Brooklyn detention center, and there's growing concern that some of his famous pals might be called to testify. But the drama isn't just about Diddy. There's a bigger story going on with New York City's mayor and other local politicians. During the same time Diddy was being looked into, it turned out some of these political figures were close to him. Now, many of them have resigned, which has led to a lot of people wondering if there's a connection. Some believe that because of Diddy's ties to local power, his legal issues could be part of a larger pattern of corruption within the government. What's really raising eyebrows is the federal investigation into Diddy. The feds are digging deep into civil lawsuits that were filed against him, and there are whispers that they're also looking into how Diddy's connections helped him avoid trouble for so long. This whole situation is getting more complicated by the day, and it's clear that the investigation is only beginning to uncover the full extent of what's been happening behind the scenes. There's been a lot of buzz lately about some pretty serious allegations against 2 of the biggest names in the music industry, Jay-Z and Diddy. Recently, a woman from Alabama has stepped forward with a claim that both men assaulted her when she was only 13 years old. What makes this even more shocking is that a judge just ruled she can keep her identity anonymous for now as she pursues her case. This is big because Jay-Z's legal team fought hard to get the case thrown out, even asking for the woman's name to be made public. But the judge disagreed, deciding that the woman has the right to remain anonymous. This is a huge victory for her, and it means the legal process will continue, with the focus staying on her claims. What's even more chilling is that people are wondering if any other celebrities were involved in similar situations at Diddy's notorious parties. Diddy has been known to host huge events, and it's possible there's footage or tapes out there that could reveal more than anyone realizes. This case could change everything for Diddy and Jay-Z, and the eyes of the public are watching closely. The woman's courage in coming forward is powerful, and it's clear this story is far from over. As the legal battle continues, it could bring even more truths to light about what really happened at those parties. Stay tuned because this could shake up the music world as we know it. A major legal update just came in regarding the case of Jane Doe, a woman who says Jay-Z and Diddy assaulted her when she was only 13 years old. The court has allowed her to move forward with her lawsuit, but for now she can keep her identity a secret. This decision has sparked a lot of attention, especially because Jay-Z's legal team didn't take this news lightly. They had been pushing hard to reveal her name and get the case thrown out, but the judge wasn't having it. The judge even scolded Jay-Z's lawyers for their aggressive tactics, saying their constant filing of motions with harsh language was a waste of time and court resources. They also accused the lawyers of trying to rush the process just because they were eager to get the case dismissed. The judge made it clear just because the defense wants things to move quickly, that doesn't mean it will happen. This legal battle started when Jane Doe filed a civil lawsuit claiming that Jay-Z and Diddy assaulted her at an after-party following the MTV Music Awards in 2000. She says the incident occurred while another celebrity watched. Jay-Z, now a successful business mogul, has strongly denied these claims, calling the lawsuit a blackmail attempt. At the time of the alleged assault, Jay-Z was 30 years old. As the case moves forward, the tension is building and things are looking intense for both Jay-Z and Diddy. The court's decision to let Jane Doe remain anonymous only adds to the mystery and drama surrounding this high-profile case. Keep an eye on this one because it's far from over and the outcome could have huge consequences for both of these stars. Jay-Z, known for huge hits like Run This Town and Empire State of Mind, is facing some serious legal accusations. A woman who is staying anonymous for now claims that both he and Diddy assaulted her when she was just 13 years old. Jay-Z's lawyers are strongly denying the accusations, saying her story is not only false but also full of contradictions. They believe there's no truth to her claims and are ready to prove it in court. For now, the court has allowed Jane Doe to stay anonymous, but this might change as the case moves forward. If the judge feels Jay-Z's legal team needs more information to prepare for trial, they could require her to reveal her identity. This can be a difficult decision for anyone making such serious allegations, as sometimes the pressure to go public leads people to drop the case entirely. Tony Busby, the lawyer representing Jane Doe in her high-profile case against Jay-Z and Diddy, has kept a relatively low profile regarding the judge's recent ruling. However, in an email to CBS News, Busby made his stance clear. Despite the challenges and criticisms his client has faced, he remains confident in their position and the legitimacy of the case. Busby strongly rejected the attacks aimed at him and his client, stating that those attempting to undermine the case are ultimately failing to have any real impact. The defense from Busby signals that although the road ahead may be filled with obstacles, including media scrutiny and legal pushback, the fight will not be abandoned. Busby's words seem to show his resolve, emphasizing that the case will continue without being swayed by the negative attention or efforts to discredit the accuser. In a legal environment often marked by strategic delays and maneuvering, Busby's statement reinforces his commitment to seeing the case through, regardless of the challenges posed by the other side. This battle, which involves some of the biggest names in the music industry, has attracted intense public interest and the legal proceedings are only intensifying. The issue at hand isn't just about the allegations, but also about the wider implications of the case: power dynamics, celebrity influence, and the complexities of holding public figures accountable for their actions. As the case moves forward, Busby's email reflects his determination to push for justice no matter the obstacles and to ensure his client's voice is heard in the courtroom, regardless of the distractions or attempts to discredit the claim. The journey ahead will be long, but Busby's statement indicates that he's ready to stand firm as the battle for justice continues. With everything still unfolding, the case has a long way to go. All eyes are on how the situation will develop and whether Jane Doe will eventually be forced to reveal her identity. One thing's for sure, this case is far from over and both sides are ready for the fight. There's a lot of talk going around about these tapes, but we don't have the full picture yet. Some lawyers are saying they exist, but we still haven't seen the proof. They say one of the tapes might involve a bodyguard and a woman, but honestly we won't know for sure until something real comes out. It's kind of like the old bootleg R. Kelly tapes. Everyone was talking about them, but we never got the full story. Now, they're saying the guy on the tape could be someone younger, maybe more famous than Diddy. There's even talk about it being someone like Justin Bieber, but we really don't know for sure, and until we see something, it's all just speculation. What do you think? Is there truth to these rumors, or is it just a lot of talk? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments.